Welcome to another segment of our talks, which is focused on the theme, where do we go from here? Where we invited partners and organizations that we have worked with throughout the years.
Today we're really excited because we have our friends from the Joeten Kiyu Public Library. We have Miss Erlinda Naputi, who is the library director, and Miss Beth Demapan, who I believe is the technical services librarian. Thank you very much for...
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having us. We are really we're happy and pleased to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so maybe before we move on, we can talk about, I actually wanted to ask, you've been there since the library was formed, right?
Yes.
Maybe you can share with us, your journey from when you started there.
I first started working at the library. It was just a job in 1992, July 1st. So yes, I will be celebrating I just celebrated my 28th anniversary at the library. But after working there for about 6 months, I learned to love the career. I love serving the community. I grew to love the job. So it became not just a job, but a career. I am still there 28 years later. I am now the not the executive, but the library director. Of course, I started out as a part-time employee under the Friends of the Library, and here I am today. So it is actually my passion to serve the community, and that's what kept me going.
And you have been doing such a great job on that side, Pantene and Rhoda. The library has grown throughout the years, and we've seen programs pile up, one program after another and after another. So congratulations to that.
Thank you, ma'am. We've been very fortunate to have strong supporters, partners, such as yourself, the CNMI government, the governor, and community partners.
Yes,
as well.
and thank you for that partnership. JKPL has been with the foundation since day one also.
And we are glad to be.
Yeah, your partnership really means a lot to us, and just providing that services to our community means a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What about you, Beth? Maybe you can share with us your role at the Joeten Kiyu Public Library.
My role at the library is I'm the technical services librarian, and I'm in charge of the programs and services of the library. So we provide innovative and creative programs to the community as we're faced with the COVID-19 pandemic. So some of my go-to is virtual learning resources for our community.
Right.
And the patrons of the library, are they just kids, or are they all walks of life, or who goes to the library?
We actually serve the entire community from a zero newborn to as old as, I think the oldest patron that we've ever served in the library, I'd say was about 95 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
So we have patrons who've actually been at the library since the inception in 1991 to present.
You again have been there for a long time. Not only that you have a big role at the library on our islands, but you have a bigger role with Piola. Talk about that. Share that.
Yes. So I am currently the president for Piola, and Piola is the Pacific Island Association of Library, Archives, and Museum. It is comprised of membership from the Federated State of Micronesia. So it's Pohnpei, Pohnpei, Chuuk, and Kosrae. And the RMI, of course, and the Republic of the Marshall Islands and Republic of Palau, as well as Hawaii. So we have membership across the Pacific. So it is a nonprofit organization that is founded to support the librarians, museum, and archivists in the Pacific area. So I have held the position as a president for 3 years. I am up for re-election next year, and I think I've probably done enough, a lot for this past 3 years. Yes, thank you.
Good job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for repping the CNMI there,
Yes, I think I am the only, aside from the late Herb de Rosario, I'm the only CNMI native that's ever held the position as a president.
Awesome.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On that.
So now the Joeten Kiyu Public Library, I know that you guys have numerous types of programs that you offer the community, from I think something on wheels, is it the Bookmobile?
Yes.
And then maybe one of you can share what your major programs that you have there that you offer.
Okay, I'll leave it up to our technical service librarian, who's in charge of programs, to maybe share a few more of that of the virtual resources and other available resources at the library.
Okay, so we have virtual learning resources, and we have Gels Engage, which is a research database that we have at the library. It all starts with having a library card. So
Those
we
look
have-
really great, by the way.
Yes.
So Gels Engage is a research database that we have, and we have EBSCOhost, which is also another research database that we have. And then we have, if you're interested in best-selling ebooks, we have Baker and Taylor Access 360, which has an assortment more than 400 best-selling ebooks that we have. And we also have Niche Academy from the Joeten Kiyu Public Library, which provides online tutorials. We also have, if you go to our website at www.cnmilib.org, you can visit our OPAC, which is our online card catalog, and you can reserve a book from the library from there, and then call the library up and we'll schedule an appointment when to pick it up. And you can pick it up from our parking lot. And we also have Wi-Fi services available at the parking lot and also inside the library, free access to Wi-Fi. So those are part of our virtual learning resources. On top of the ebooks from Baker and Taylor Access 360, we also have First Book ebooks available as well. And those are thousands of ebooks available from grades kindergarten all the way to teens too.
And adults as well.
Adults as well
Yes.
can access that as well.
So my
And
first
all for free.
And they're all free.
The resources are not just available for Saipan community, but it is also available to our sister islands in the Tinian and Rhoda. So all the resources and all these activities that are made available at the Joeten Kiyu Public Library here in Saipan are also made available to our Rhoda and Tinian Public Library. So in Rhoda, it's actually called the Antonio C. Atelic Memorial Library. Yes.
So, given all these directives with our pandemic and everything that's going around the world, how is the library coping with the directives in terms of providing these services to the community? I know you guys do a lot of community outreach. You invite kids to come and partake in your services. So, how do you guys manage to continue all that with the directives, with social distancing and all that?
So since the library reopened from the shutdown in May 17 of this year, we've established a procedure where patrons or parents are able to come into the library, but by appointment only. And the reason for the appointment is to ensure that we have, not too many people in the library, and we limit our access to just 25 at a time, 25 patrons at a time for an hour intervals. For those students who are needing a cubicle to study, whether they're NMC or high school students, we have cubicles that are available for them for 2 hours. A lot of our high schoolers actually utilizes the cubicle area to do their project or their research, whatever homework they may have. We give them at least 2 hours to study, and they can renew their reservation or their appointment for another 2 hours, depending on the time they need. Yes. Before any patron or any public access the library, we have the procedure in place where they temperature check, hand sanitizing station. Of course, we take their names, their library card number, their phone numbers to be in compliance with the COVID task force. And we also want to ensure that our staff and patrons are safe. So we take all the precautionary measures to ensure safety for both our patrons and our staff.
So how does the community access information? Do you guys have social media platforms maybe that you guys run, or?
Beth is our pro. She's a champ in the Facebook at the library and Instagram. So Beth, maybe can you share our Facebook account? And
since the pandemic, we've actually increased our social media presence. So if you can add or like us as a friend on Facebook or Instagram at Joeten Kiyu Public Library, we post more. We posted about our summer library program there. We've posted about our book program there, event there. We've posted about all the numerous resources on our times and our hours of operation are all posted there. So we've really increased our online presence since the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as going into our website too. So everything you need to know about the library is all online for the most part.
We just recently actually finished our statistics for last fiscal year. And Beth, maybe you can share how many people liked us on Facebook. Was it
more than 146,000 patrons have engaged with the public library on Facebook.
On Facebook, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Since March.
Since March, yes,
Yes.
yes. And we also have our systems librarian who is not with us here today. He's in charge of our library's website. So if you like, you can visit us at cnmilib.org. It is pretty up to date. It's updated, if not daily, weekly, to ensure that our community are updated and are informed with the activities that we have at the public library. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different how things have changed since COVID, right? The library, our friends there, they've been partners with the First Lady through the Christmas Village.
Yes.
For many years we've had it right next door to
Right.
the library, and it's easy access. This year is a little different.
Yes,
right?
we do
Right.
have our Christmas village up on the hill. If you've not been there, check it out. Invite your families and your friends to come join. But yes, the public library has been our partner since day one for that specific project.
It'll be a little bit tougher this year. In the past, since the inception, like I said, since the beginning of the Christmas Village, we've been a very strong supporter of the First Lady's vision of the Christmas Village, and it's actually one of the most well attended of all the activities, Mrs. First Lady, that you've had. This year will be a little bit challenging for us because we're gonna have to drive up the hill, so we will be there. Yes, we will be there. We will continue to support your vision and your Christmas Village for our community.
Thank you.
And thank you also for continuing, despite the pandemic that we're in, thank you for continuing with the Christmas Village. It's much needed.
We still gotta keep and continue to
spirit,
spread that
right?
spirit.
Yes.
No holds barred. We gotta keep
Thank you.
keep that alive.
Thank you.
I really want to thank you personally too, because during the lockdown, my kids were going crazy, right? And then you were celebrating National Library Week, I remember, and I thought, what resources do I have at home, for the kids? So I don't have much books at home. You guys were a phone call away. I said, look, hey, it's National Library Week. I'd love to do something for my kids. And from that, your team had prepared a bunch of books that we were able to pick up. Or I think you delivered it to us. But, just that effort, when people reach out to you, you and your team are always there. No matter what, you always try your best.
You guys did a video, right?
And then,
I recall that.
books,
You did a couple of
they came alive, and we shared that book, to our general public.
Yes.
That was a fun one.
Ms.
was
First
really
Lady, our
fun.
vision and our passion is to serve the community to the best of our ability, and we try to go out of our way to make sure that our community, their cry for help is heard, and so whenever there is a need for us to go out of our way to help our community members, we're always there. The library is actually we are very fortunate to have a group of very passionate employees. I don't never call them employees, they're actually my colleagues. We have a group of a team, a family is what we call ourselves, family at the library that works well together, and we're all passionate to help our community. Yes.
That's great news. We hope that this holiday season that everyone, can take a look back at 2020 and see how we've grown, how much we've been resilient, through this pandemic, and really focus on ways that we can make the CNMI a better place, than it is today, in any aspect, and the library plays a vital role because there's so much growth there, and we're just very fortunate, with the foundation as well, for your partnership, and we hope that we can continue this.
Yeah,
we are continuing to branch out as well. So before the pandemic, we were actually working closely with the governor's office to open a branch library at the San Antonio Youth Center. We are still doing that. We are still working on that project, and we still hope to have that extended branch library open soon. So we want to reach out to our community members who are in need. So one of the places that we've identified a building, thanks to the governor's office and thanks to DPL, is the old library. It used to be the Fernando M. Benavente Memorial Library. When I was little, that's where we would go and visit the library. So my vision is to open that up and hopefully before the end of the year, if not maybe early of next year, so we can bring the library to the village.
So, you know, we do promote here at the foundation, you know, the our language and our culture, and one of our programs is the Young Authors Book, and you have been really our really big supporter of distributing or making these books available to our community. We did publish 5 different books, so 5 different young authors. We have donated those books to your library, Saipantin and Rhoda. You have purchased extra books to fill up your shelves. We appreciate that. Maybe you can share a little bit with our audience. How else is the library promoting, you know, the Chamorro and Carolinian books and authors?
So I'm glad you asked. 3 years ago, we went to Hawaii Library Association. Was that 3 years ago?
Yes.
Yes. So we were invited to attend the Hawaii Library Association, Beth and I, and we actually brought out your books to share with our
Hafasin and Tetemu.
yeah. And Beth and I tag team on reading the Hafasin and Tetemu. I read the Chamorro part, of course, and she read the English part. And I tell you, we had quite a few members, Hawaii Library Association members, who are from Hawaii, of course, that were very interested in your books. So I think we brought several copies, and that's one of the reasons why we bought extra copies of the LDTF books, both Chamorro and English, is because when we do visit or when we do go travel to other areas, we share these resources with our partners. And so we were able to give away several of your books to members of the Hawaii Library Association, who were very actually impressed of the amount of effort and amount of time that our First Lady in the CNMI has contributed towards literacy. And I tell them, we are very lucky to have you. We are very lucky to have you and to have someone who is very supportive of education of our children and of literacy to be a part of our CNMI, CNMI team and as a First Lady. So thank you also for always looking out for the best interests of the CNMI.
Yeah, thank you for that. You know, I did have the opportunity to write my own book, you know, once upon a time. It was the Anna grant that helped me fund that book. And, you know, when I became, you know, First Lady, I figured, you know, why not give the opportunity to our young generation to publish their own book, you know. So I'm very passionate about that. I'm happy, you know, that we are continuing that particular program, and we are 5 books and counting.
Right.
So
yeah, you know, the Young Authors program with the Lady Diann Torres Foundation, you know, is really one of the highlights that the foundation has and we continue to do so. You know, I think it's 2 different parts. One, it's publishing a book. You have that aspect. Then you have the aspect of, you know, the culture, the language, right? And it's just it's a step towards, you know, continued efforts in having our languages continue on to the next generation. I think that's really important. In today's world, you know, it's very rare that you'll see younger generations carry on native tongues. And, you know, with the books that the foundation, with this program, the Young Authors program, we are, you know, that's an effort towards that that goal is, you know, to continue the language with the next generation. I wish I had books when I was younger, and, you know, in you know, Chamorro that I can look at today.
You know, that's one of the reasons why I actually wrote a book, because when I had my first son, you know, we were really strong. My husband and I were really strong about making sure that our kid learned the language. So, you know, I was a teacher at the time. I was out looking for books. There was really not much available, honestly. So I figured, hey, I'm a teacher. I've got the summer off, paid. You know,
Right.
why not?
Yeah.
You know, why not put together something that, you know, I could use for my kid and, of course, to share with our entire public. So, yeah.
So also as the president of Piola and a member, prior to being president, I was a member of Piola, very active. I was able to distribute yearbooks to our neighboring islands. I mean, I distributed yearbooks to Palau, FSM, and RMI, and like Hawaii and Guam. So it is very popular during summer, during Christmas, this season, where parents are actually looking for gifts to send off island. So we always try to stack up on your books at the library, because we get requests on how to get a book or how to purchase a book, and we want to make sure that every parent has, access to it, so they can share that wealth with the community, with their family. Yeah.
The foundation still has books for sale.
And we'll be reaching out to you if we need any more. Okay. We do have a few in stock, but yes, we've gotten a lot of requests from as far as San Francisco, who would someone in San Francisco emailed asking if there's a way they can purchase the book, and if there's a way we can send them to them, and those are the kind of requests that we send to LDTF to take care of. Yeah.
Thank you for your partnership with that, and working together. That's really the only way for us to continue and be successful with that,
and continue our services to the community. Really, during the holiday seasons, we ask that you continue to spread the love, spread happiness, but always be safe throughout this journey. We look forward to a new year all the time with fresh minds, fresh visions. So we'll be looking forward to what your library has to offer. Yes. Our community. So I think we've liked your page, we've followed your Instagram, so we're on it.
Yes.
We're on it.
Don't forget to visit our website as well.
Yes.
CNMILib.com, right?
Org. CNMILib.org.
Okay.
Yes.
Please get a library card, please.
Yes. So everything that we've talked about, everything that we've shared in terms of programs, activities, they're all free. Everything is free, made possible by of course, CNMI government, our governor, lieutenant governor, our Northern Mariana Humanities Council grant through the through the CARES Act, also made possible through our Institute of Museum and Library Services grantor out in Washington, D.C. We thank them, and we thank LDTF for being a great supporter and sponsor of the library. Together, I believe we can do so much.
Yes, we can.
So we have some of the books that the foundation has published through the Young Authors Literacy Program. This was actually the first book that was published, Hafa Sinintetemu by Adora J. San Nicolas. Not sure what grade she is now, but this was published in 2017. So that's 3 years ago.
Sophomore in his time.
Yeah, so 3 years ago, 3 years in, we have 5 books. This is one. Hafa Sinintetemu by Adora San Nicolas. This is Ilina Lahu by Kaloma Kastru. I think Kaloma is a senior now in high school.
So.
This was written in the junior high level.
Yep.
And then this is our publication in Rafalawash by Jude Latulamar, who actually, every time we have like book signings and stuff, he actually really comes out and talks to the community about this book. So that's awesome, Jude. And then Maulik Contra Baba by Leilani Atau.
Good versus evil.
Right? Good versus evil. And Iduendes, The Duendes by Cielo Long. Right?
All right, so thank you very much once again for staying tuned with us and educating you with our programs and sharing what the library has to offer. We'd like to invite you once again to the Hill to partake in what we have displayed for you during this Christmas season.
So on behalf of the Lady Diann Torres Foundation and our friends from JKPL and our First Lady, we want to wish everybody a
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.